Today's video is featuring using up some of what we already have in our sewing rooms because it is towards the end of the year and we all get that cabin fever and that need to start cleaning up and starting fresh for the new year. So what I'm going to be doing is featuring a block that we can build on. You can either use as one block, do it repetitively and use it in one larger quilt, or you can follow along as I add other blocks to it along the way to make a beautiful design. So for the center block, it's going to measure 12.5 inches unfinished, and what you need are 8 potato chips. These are one of my favorites. They measure 2.5 by 4.5. You need 8 2.5-inch squares in a background and also in a darker high contrast. This would be a great way to also strip piece. So if you have some 2.5-inch strips and you have some lighter background and dark, stitch them together, and then you can subcut them down into ones that look like this because we're going to be making 4 patches with them. And then I have 8 high contrast of the 2.5-inch squares, and then I also have some HSTs. And what I decided to do is I'm going to actually pair these together, and I'm going to be making them into an hourglass. If you don't know how to do this, you can follow along while I do that step as well. So the first thing we need to do is we need to take our potato chips and we need to join them together in pairs. So that's with a nice even 1/4 inch seam. I like to use a scant seam. It just seems to work better when I'm trying to fit all the units together. I've got one left over from another project, so I'm not being overly fussy. I'm just trying to use ones that have a lot of high contrast, and this is going to be a very scrappy looking quilt. I've got these 8 potato chips all joined together, and you know you're doing well when you take a ruler. This is 4.5 inches, and you lay it down and it measures 4.5 inches wide. That's a good way to check your 1/4 inch to make sure that you're on the right track. It really does pay to do that extra step. It makes putting together all the blocks so much easier. So next up, we're going to take our groups of the darker 2.5-inch squares and the lighter background, and we're going to pair them together. Again, using the same seam allowance. One trick is, I've shown this before, if you have fabric and you don't like one side, just flip it over and use the other. I'm doing that a lot to use up some of these random blocks. So the darker is going to be facing down, and then they've got a second use. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And again, if you already have some joined together, well, guess what? You're ahead of the game. So now that we have our 2.5-inch squares joined together, a light with the dark, we're going to create our 4 patches. And if you've pressed to the dark side, this will work very well for nesting. So again, you just push them to the center, you get a nice little match. I'll put a pin in, and then you're going to do a 1/4 inch seam. When you're putting these together, it doesn't matter whether your seam's this way or this way, whatever works the best for you. You just want to make sure that your darks are always in the lower right-hand corner and they're across from each other. So again, we need 4 of those, so I'll just finish those up. The magic of pressing to the dark side means when you go to have these all sewn together, you can pop them in the center like that, and then you get this nice cross going on. So this is what it looks like, and then when you go to press them, they do meet nicely in the center. So now that I've got all those done, I need to press this guy. We're going to take either 2 half square triangles and create an hourglass like this. So what you want to do is you want to make sure they're oversized because we're going to lose about 1/2 inch when we stitch these together. These will make 2 for us. So what we need to do is we're going to match up the seams like this. So the dark on the right, the dark on the left. You're going to match up your seam with right sides together like this. And you can feel it as you're pushing them together. And then we'll draw a line and stitch 1/4 inch from each side. And then when you cut those apart, you will look like that. And then this will need to be squared up to 4.5 inches. So I think what I'm going to do, instead of using these block ones, I have this oversized one left over from another project, and I'm just going to square this one up at 4.5 inches. And then I'm just going to show you how to lay these all out. We're almost there. For the center, because this is a totally flexible pattern, if you don't want to use an hourglass, you could use 2 flying geese and join them together like that. Or you could have them like this. Or you could have them, again, looking like an hourglass. Or you could stack them like that. This is how I'm choosing to do it. You can do it any way you want. If you have 2.5 inch HSTs, you could lay them out. I only have 3 here, but you could do something like that. Or again, you could have mix and match with a flying goose to have a look like this. Or you could do the pinwheel, which is turning them around, which I always get this messed up. And then if you had another one here. So I'm just showing you different options for the center block. So basically, to put this together, we have 3 different kinds of 4.5 inch blocks that are ready to assemble. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our potato chips that have been joined together in sets, and we're going to take a 4 patch and put 1 on each side. I don't like that seam like that. So that the dark is facing like this towards the dark pieces. So you're going to do 2 of those. So I've got this one will be in the upper part of the block, and then on the lower part of the block we're going to take another set, and we're going to take the other ones, and again we're going to have it with the dark part of the 4 patches kissing the 4.5 potato chip block, just like that. So we're making 2 of those per block. So let me do that and I'll be right back. With the top and bottom part of the block now complete, it's time to do the center. So we're going to take our center block, again mine is an hourglass, and I'm going to have it with the darkers facing up and down. And then I'm going to take the 2 remaining sets of potato chips, and I'm going to join 1 on each side. And I'm doing this with the seams going this way because when we go to do this one seam on the top and bottom, it's very easy to match these together. So let me go ahead and do that, and then we're almost there. I'm just showing you the back side so that you can see by pressing towards the potato chips and running the seams this way. In the center block, we're pressing them again towards the potato chips. We have an opportunity to nest at each of these points, which makes the whole block assembly a lot easier. Just wondering, what color thread do you use? I like to use like a cream color Orifil 50. It works the best for my machine. I also have a light dove gray that I use in one of my other ones. And someone told me recently that if you're doing a lot of darker piecing, it's better to use like a navy blue, and that way you can see the seams as well. Because this is a mixture of everything, I'm just choosing to use my lighter thread throughout. So I'm going to go ahead and join these together with my 1/4 inch seam. I'll do a good pressing, and then I'll give you a final reveal. So here's the block all done. Again, it measures 12.5 by 12.5. I think this would be really neat if you just made a bunch of them and had some nice sashing around it. But in my next video, I'm going to show you a border that I've come up with that I'm going to frame this with. And because I want to show you that you can do it in another way This is with the darker version, and this is with the lighter version. Which one do you like the best? I will show you if you make a series of them and then have dark, light, what they'll look like, and then continuing down in the opposite as well. So I hope you like this. I always love to hear from you. Please don't be afraid to reach out and comment. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Sewwithdebee@gmail.com is my email. And I do post updated pictures and patterns on my website, which is www.sewwithdebee.com. So until next time, sew safely and sew with Debee. Have a great day and bye for now.